All right, let's do it.
All right,
Let's do it.
Here we go. Welcome to Sports Econ 101. You know our show. It's where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Vern Glenn of CBS affiliate KPIX-TV in San Francisco, and well-known sports radio personality, Bruce McGowan.
Yes, sir.
Today's show is going to be pretty special because we have a special guest, Bill Syken.
Wait, Bill Syken. Wait, how the
Bill Syken.
hell? How'd you get him?
Well, we had him on last time. Remember the best numbers in sports?
When you call somebody, do you just go Sports Econ 101, and before you even get it out, they go, okay, I'll do it.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Wow, that's man.
The reputation procedure.
Well, Bill
Yeah, but
Syken,
Bill is from Philadelphia, which is a great sports
Sports
town.
town,
Yeah,
sure.
Hey, man,
hardcore fans.
that's a good get.
Yeah.
Okay, this time we're going to talk about the greatest basketball players in their position. Now, at each commercial break, we're going to ask a sports trivia question, and the first 3 emails we receive with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouseresortandmarina.com. Vacations are free. Their only request is a $75 cleaning fee to cover those housekeeping expenses. And,
That's what you say.
I try to say, yes. Now, the trivia theme is going to be whose record did he break? All right?
Okay.
So we'll get into that.
Whose record did he break?
Okay,
Right.
you're listening to Sports Econ 101. This segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, providing mortgage investments that are currently yielding 8% or more secured by real estate.
If it's got to be private money, you better bet it is Pacific.
That's right.
That's right.
That is right.
8%, I like that.
Oh, you should see the kind of deals that they're doing. They just lent a guy from a very well-known computer company. Guy makes over $1 million a year and could not get an $800,000 loan.
You're kidding me. Why?
Because
Bad
the banks are just doing it.
He smells bad.
Yeah.
Bad credit? Maybe he had bad credit somewhere down the line.
No. The guy had $5 million worth of the.
Well, who are they going to lend then? Who are they going to lend the money to?
You're a good guy.
Yeah.
They only lend to sports guys.
All right, see?
All right.
We're chumps. That's
So
all.
anyway, check them
Bruce
out.
showered. Yeah, go ahead.
So check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. Stay tuned. We are going to have Bill Syken when we return from these messages. Okay,
All
now
right,
I got to
we're
say
off and
that
running.
when I listen to Sports Center, they say, welcome back to Sports Center.
I know, they're wrong. Welcome back is not what you say. It's nice to have you with us. We're here. No, I'm just teasing you. That's what Bob Agarwal used to say. I don't know why I made a big deal about that.
I mean, it throws me off.
It doesn't make that much difference to you, does it, Bill, if we say, welcome back? Like, we haven't been anywhere.
Yeah.
We haven't gone anywhere. Are you still there, Bill?
Feels like whatever, man. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, who are these crazy guys?
Yeah.
Let's just get.
We just like to have
get the
fun.
program.
I'm
Crazy guys on the left coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our
No wonder they
yeah.
elect these crazy people
Right.
in the office here.
So we get along so well because Bruce is very liberal. I'm very conservative. And what would you consider yourself? Vern? Kind of middle of the road?
I'm a conservative Democrat. How about
There you
that?
go. There he's in the middle.
Yeah, there you go.
So we got all 3
That's
spectrums.
it, yeah. Democrats and Republicans.
There you go.
Okay. So you ready there, Bill?
He's ready, man.
I'm ready.
He was
He's
born ready.
been ready.
He's been ready. Okay.
He's been ready.
Here we go. We'll introduce you. Okay. Sports Econ 101 continues. Edward Brown here, along with Vern Glenn and Bruce McGowan. And on the phone, we have Bill Syken, who's been with us before. Bill, welcome to Sports Econ 101.
Thanks for having me back.
See, he had such a good time the first time. He's eager to come back.
Yeah.
All right.
Join the party again.
Now, Bill, you just finished off writing this book on greatest basketball players in their position. Tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll go through the list.
Well, the book is a Sports Illustrated production, and putting together the book, all the Sports Illustrated basketball writers asked them to name their top 10 at the position. And once they did that, we got the results. Then we put it together in this coffee table book. Each choice is illustrated with a classic photo and a classic story from the SI archive. So have the rankings, and then you also have a bunch of great pictures and great writing that has appeared in SI throughout the year.
That sounds like a
So
great
yeah,
book.
I'm taking a look at it on the computer
Yeah.
now.
Now, what kind of criteria do you use to kind of come up with the list? Is it one of those things where if you got to think about it, then they're not on the list?
Yeah, well, ask people to come up with, we rank them by best, best by position, and then we also had a couple other lists, best rebounders, best defensive players, best three-point shooters, most clutch performers, most entertaining players to watch. We separated out into a bunch of different categories.
And did you guys go fisticuffs when you were debating about certain players?
I bet there was great debate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a very civil enterprise, thankfully. It's,
Will Chamberlain, Sean Bradley,
Oh, yeah.
Well, Bill's from Philadelphia, so Bill, we were talking about the Warriors the other day and what a rich history they have, even though they had a long period where they didn't go to the playoffs. But before they came to the Bay Area, they won 2 championships in Philadelphia. Then you get the Sixers, who have the greatest record of all time back in '66, '67, and all those colleges back there that play basketball that have been good off and on, like St. Joe's and Drexel, and it's a great basketball town, isn't it?
absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't know it by looking at the current product. We're in year 2 of the intentional tanking project. But, there's tremendous history. I mean, if you include the Villanova teams and the Villanova team that took down Georgetown in the 80s, that was one of the most exciting games.
Oh, yeah.
I always liked that guy Zinkoff, that PA announcer who was there for years, the Philadelphia 76ers and Philadelphia Warriors PA announcer. He used to have, remember Hal Greer would score a basket and Greer!
They actually have a list in your best top 10 courtside characters, and Dave Zinkoff comes in at number 3. This is also includes Spike Lee, you got the son of the gorilla. So,
How about Jack Nicholson? Is he
in there?
Jack Nicholson in there?
For basketball?
Yeah, because he's a big Laker.
Yeah, man, Laker courtside
Yeah.
seats, man.
Oh, Jack Nicholson.
They always show
Jack Nicklaus.
Jack Nicholson. No, that Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
He's in there, I would think.
There's a picture of him in there. Yeah, I'm still depressed that Will Chamberlain got traded to the Lakers. I'll never forget that.
Well, actually, he went to the Sixers first, and then he went to the Lakers. So the Warriors traded him to the Sixers first, and it wasn't a good
That's
trade.
true.
And then he went to the Lakers. But you think about it, he won rings with the Sixers, the Warriors, and the Lakers.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was the Philadelphia Warriors.
Yeah, they were the Philadelphia Warriors. Then he went with the Philadelphia 76ers. Then he went with the LA Lakers. Yeah.
Small forward.
Yeah, with the 76ers and Julius Erving, I guess everything changed with Moses Malone joined the team. They really
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have some
It was
fun.
a good year. That's one of our top 10 teams of all time.
Oh.
The 82-83 Sixers team, where they added Moses Malone to a team that already had gone to the finals.
Yeah, what was his famous quote? Faux, faux,
I was going to say, faux.
Yeah.
How many games are we going to win? We're going to win 3 series. Faux. And they almost did. I think they won.
Faux actually makes our list of top 10 basketball quotes of all time.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
He's got it in there.
Moses Malone.
Okay,
It's actually number 1. They say number 2, the number 2 quote.
What's that?
It's from Antoine Walker. He said, "There ain't no fours," when he was asked why he shoots so many 3-pointers.
There are no force. I like that.
Okay, so just for fun here, we're going to...
Of course, there is a 4-point shot. If you got
That's
fouled
true.
taking a 3-point shot, it'd be a 4.
That happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with the number 10. We have the top 10. So top 10 in the shooting point guard, excuse me. So you have here number 10, Chris Paul. Number 9. Okay, I'll just go through them.
God, Chris Paul, 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Gary Payton, number 9.
The glove.
From the East Bay, from Oakland.
Yep. Walt Frazier, number 8.
Clyde.
Steve Nash, number 7.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Bob Cousy, number 6.
Ah,
He's a little before our time.
Great ball handler.
Jason Kidd, number 5.
Another great ball handler.
Oscar Robertson, number 4.
Oh.
There we go. Yep.
Isaiah Thomas, number 3.
A little child shall lead them.
John Stockton, number 2.
Uh-huh.
And who's number 1?
Magic.
Irvin Magic Johnson.
Of course, the thing is, some of these guys, they kind of trade a little bit.
It's so weird to think of.
Forward.
It's so weird that I think of Magic as a point guard. He's 6'8".
I know.
Did he play all 5 positions?
He did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And I guess his
all
rookie.
at the same time. It was only him versus.
Well, his rookie year, I remember he played center because wasn't Kareem out in the last game?
That's another one of our top 10 games is the game 6 against the Sixers where Kareem was out. I mean, he only played center for a little bit, but he did come out and dump the opening stuff.
Amazing.
Okay. Let me move on here to shooting guards.
Okay.
Okay. Number 10, Reggie Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Sam Jones.
Okay.
Number 8, again, Oscar Robertson. Number 7 is George Gervin.
The Iceman.
Love
The
George
finger
Gervin.
roll.
Love George Gervin.
Okay. Number 6, Allen Iverson.
Okay, all right.
5, Clyde the Glide Drexler.
Uh-huh.
4, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne.
3, Jerry West.
Okay.
2, Kobe Bryant. And who's number 1? His Airness.
Is that well?
Michael
Well,
Jordan.
who's gonna debate that?
Yeah.
I mean, you could vote for him for any of the positions, except for center, probably.
Yeah.
He's probably is he the most famous 23 in all of sports?
Gotta be.
He's
Gotta be, huh?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. And, I mean, for point guard and for shooting guard, number 1 choice was unanimous for all 7 of our panelists. But the next position, if you go to small forward, that's where we get our first one where there's really debate about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Small forward. Okay.
That's it. Okay, so now let's move on to small forward, and then we'll cut to a commercial break here. Small forward, number 10, Paul Pierce.
Okay.
9, Dominic Wilkins.
All right. The
8,
human highlight film.
yeah. James Worthy, number 8.
Big Game James, the original Big Game
Yeah.
James. Yeah.
The ladies like James, by the way.
Yeah.
We know that. Yes.
Okay.
We've heard stories.
Number 7, one of your favorite players, Rick Barry.
Rick Barry.
Number 6, John Havlicek.
Hondo.
Yeah. 5, Elgin Baylor.
Okay.
4, Scottie Pippen. 3, one of my favorites, Julius Irving.
Oh boy.
2, LeBron. And number 1, Larry Bird.
There you go.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird had LeBron.
Yeah, you
Wow.
you could now that you can open a can of your favorite beverage and you really have a debate about that one, huh, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, and everyone had them either 1 or 2, but I mean, obviously Larry Bird came out ahead. But I think to me, it's kind of the difference between LeBron, for at least a lot of his early career, looked like a very unbelievable athlete who was playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But you looked at Larry Bird, and that's the guy who was a pure basketball player.
Yeah, I still remember the one shot where he's going to the right, he's going out of bounds. He shoots the ball, it goes off the rim, comes back to him. He's falling out of bounds, grabs it in his left hand and puts it in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. Okay, guys, we're going to cut to our first commercial break here. Again, the theme is, whose record did he break? All right, here's the first question. Since intentional walks became an official statistic in 1955, Barry Bonds became the first player to be given 100 intentional walks when he was walked intentionally 120 times in 2004. Surprised he even had a batting average. But, okay, whose record did he break of 68 intentional walks?
Wow.
All right.
Okay. All right.
68 versus what was it?
120.
Oh,
Wow.
my
The
gosh.
first 3 emails with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Email edward@sportsecon101.com the answer to this question. Since intentional walks became an official statistic in 1955, Barry Bonds became the first player to be given 100 intentional walks when he was walked intentionally 120 times in 2004. Whose record did he break of 68 intentional walks in a season? Now, since it became official in 1955, we know that Babe Ruth couldn't have had that many, right?
That's right.
Okay, stay tuned because Sports Econ 101 will continue with Bill Syken. Okay.
I wonder how many walks Barry Bonds had that were unintentional, like
Yeah,
when he just pitched
around him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it seemed like every third time he got up there, he got a walk. Either intentional or it was ridiculous. Barry Bonds, did you see him at the game the other night? Throwing out the first
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I was out of town, but I
Oh, you were
saw
doing
it where he had the crutches and
Yeah. Oh, you were on the way. Where were you with the Niners?
I was going. I think I was in St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Did he have just like regular old hip surgery, like because like getting
Oh, you were
old
from-
type of thing?
Yeah, no, he's had some problems with that. You were with.
I was
the
coming back from St. Louis.
from
It
the
was,
Niners.
coming
game?
back from the Niners.
Ah,
Yeah, so
okay.
I had missed. By the time I got back, I had missed it. So.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good. His head looked about a third smaller.
Oh well, yeah.
Well, he stopped doing the steroids. If you see him up close now, he looks like a average. He's not an average size guy, but he looks
Normal.
slimmed down. Yeah, normal. I mean, he's in good shape, but not like he used to be. Not a big buffed guy.
All right, you ready?
Here he is.
Let's go.
We're doing it. By the way, where are you guys watching the game today?
I'm going in.
I have to go in to work today,
Yeah.
so I'm doing it from the station too.
All right, good because I got too many people at the house. And you guys don't have to stand up.
World Series. We're all on red alert.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
it. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm on red alert. Give me just a beer and the TV, and I'm on.
Your wife knows to leave you alone, though, right? She'll come by and watch the
sort
game
of.
if you're with you.
Maybe.
So long as she doesn't say, what quarter are they in? It's
Hey, Ava seems like a pretty reasonable.
She is. Sometimes she'll say, "Edward, when are we gonna go? When are we gonna play bowling?" I don't. You don't play bowling. You go bowling.
Oh, she likes the bowl.
Well,
You go down here to the bowling alley.
I used that.
Yeah.
Both of my houses got torn down, so
Oh.
Green Bray and Navi. Actually, we go into Presidio Bowling.
Oh, okay. Where's that
We're
one?
gonna do that's in the
Presidio
Presidio
Bowl?
Oh,
Yeah.
Presidio
Right.
Bowl. Okay, right.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Another one of my pet peeves is I think they have 7 points. No,
Runs.
they're runs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my wife is very good about that. She knows better.
Oh, well, she,
Well,
he,
you know.
Eva would watch football. It'd be funny. Did you see what he did? He's not allowed to do that. Eva, it's called
Edward,
tackling.
can you do that?
Yeah.
And my wife enjoys watching football. She likes the violence.
Does she?
Yeah,
really?
she does. She likes the hard hitting. She sees a guy get hit. Oh, ooh.
Well, it's funny because Eva liked Ronnie Lott.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, guys. Sports Econ 101 is still here. Edward Brown, Vern Glenn, Bruce McGowan.
We have survived.
We're on call.
Yes.
Okay, first commercial break. We asked this trivia question of whose record did he break? Since intentional walks became an official statistic in 1955, Barry Bonds became the first player to be given 100 intentional walks when he was walked intentionally 120 times in 2004. Whose record did he break of 68 intentional walks in the season?
I haven't a clue.
Mr. Syken, care to weigh in?
No, I don't know.
I'm gonna guess Don Baylor.
No, he got hit the most.
Reggie Jackson. You know.
No, actually, I can't really say this is a trick question, but his own.
Oh, really?
Barry,
Oh,
in 2002,
sure,
Barry
sure.
was
Wow.
given 68.
But I wonder what player before Barry had
I'm
the-
sorry, that's not the question. I don't have that.
I know, that's a
Okay,
trick
all right,
question.
okay.
That's a trick question. Don't you
Not
think
really.
so?
It's like, okay, he broke his own record. Okay, so we're moving on here. Bill Syken, who wrote this book about best players in basketball.
How long did it take to compile this book? It must have taken a while.
It's not good, pretty good part of the year because, the lengthiest part was just going through the SI archives, reading all these old stories, finding the ones that fit all the players and cutting them down to size.
Must have been fun though, because some of those articles are written by guys that are probably no longer alive now. Back in the 1960s and 70s, some great sports writing.
Well, there's so much great sports writing, and I just learned so much. Wes Unseld shows up in one list, I think, of the greatest rebounders, and there's just a great story about how he was recruited to be the first African American player in the SEC, and he didn't want to do it because he didn't have that kind of attitude where if someone insulted him, he would just,
Could not turn the other cheek.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you would not want to get Wes Unseld angry with you. I mean, that guy was he was a big dude.
Yeah, well, I like watching.
Yeah.
Hey Bill, you ever get any feedback? Maybe a player calls and goes, "Hey man,
Yeah.
hey man, you got me number 6, man.
I'm number one.
I should be high on the list, man."
I was wondering about that when I was looking at that.
I get the feeling a lot of these athletes though, they pay attention, but they don't really worry about it too much because there's nothing.
You'd be surprised, Bruce.
Really?
Even retired,
Yeah.
these guys, they got egos.
It's the old
I'm Bill.
timers. The old timers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that right, Bill? They got the old timers get the ego and they like to be remembered as the best.
Absolutely. It's it happens. Not that they would necessarily pursue you, but if you happen to run into them somewhere, they would let you know.
Yeah, a little layover in an airport.
That's
Hey,
it. It's interesting.
Hey man. Hey. Hey, you got what? Number 8? Bill. 8? What are you on, man? Yeah.
Well, I know one guy who would take issue with where you put him on the list, and that's Rick Barry, because I worked with Rick.
Oh
Barry.
God, jeez.
And Rick's a good guy, but Rick.
Rick will tell you he was the
He
better
was the
passer,
best.
the better rebounder, the better shooter, the
He
better
was the best
Oh, yeah.
underhand
Free
shooter
throw,
from
yeah.
the
Yeah,
line.
granny shot.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, let's move on. Let's go here. We got power forward.
Okay.
Number 10, again, back to Elgin Baylor. Now, there's
Elgin
a guy,
was busy.
He was busy. Okay, number 9, I gotta say, I've never heard of this guy, and it's funny because you look at his shirt, and it says, I thought it said Nets, but it says Nats.
Okay.
Dolph Shays.
Dolph Shays played with the
Any relation to Danny Shays?
Syracuse Nats. Yeah, it's his dad.
Danny Shays' dad?
He's his father.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
there you go.
Okay, that
Yeah, Dolph Shays was a great player in the 50s.
Okay, now next we get another Elvin.
Hayes.
Hayes.
Yeah.
Okay, number 8.
The Big
E.
That's it. Number 7, Kevin McHale. 6, again, somebody who was a little bit before my time, Bob Pettit.
Okay.
Number 5, Dirk Nowitzki.
Ah.
It's a German.
Number 4, Kevin Garnett.
KG.
It's tough when you get these guys currently playing, and you always got to kind of elevate them.
I'll never forget. I ran into Kevin Garnett. This is the 2000 Summer Olympics. He's on that particular dream team, and we're in like the little mix interview zone, and we're like KG, and he comes over here, and we're like, hey Kevin, what was that win like? Last night. I mean, moving forward. I mean, at the end of the game, he goes, well, it's like candy, you put sprinkles and it tastes good. There's more sprinkles. You just
must have been hungry.
Yeah,
Sprinkles.
You're just hungry. Yeah, it was like candy. You can't.
Gotta have those sprinkles.
Yeah. No, that was Kevin Garnett.
You have to say, Kevin, what is a sprinkle?
Sprinkles.
Okay, number 3 shows up. I remember I kind of looked through this ahead of time, so he shows up on a couple of other places too. But good old Charles Barkley.
Oh yes.
Number 2, Tim Duncan, and who's number 1? Karl Malone.
Carl
Mailman.
Malone, who he was humiliated the first 2 times he was in the playoffs.
See, now Charles
by the
would
Warriors.
go to Bill and go, Bill, that's terrible. That's terrible. We got number 3. Come on, mailman. The mailman don't deliver on Sunday. Man, that's terrible, man.
I'd love to see Charles Barkley and
I have to throw something in about this. I mean, most of our panelists wanted Tim Duncan number 1, but he slid to number 2 because one of our voters refused to recognize him as a power forward and said that he was a center.
Ah.
So, which I frankly kind of agree with. But
Okay.
anyway, so that's why Tim Duncan is not ahead of Karl Malone.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so let's move on to the centers here. Now, it's funny. I watched him play. Nothing personal to him, but I never thought he was really that good, even though he was, comparison. But
Did he play in the NBA?
Oh yeah.
Then he was that good.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about. I'm not comparing him to me. Comparing him to other centers. But they have your number 10 was Bill Walton.
Okay.
Bill Walton was,
good.
but when he was
right, when he was healthy.
Yeah,
I remember him having one really
he only got to play about 3 or 4 full years because he was always hurt. But when he was playing, he would have been one of the best.
And the Portland Trailblazers on his back that 1 year.
That's true.
He got hurt, he was often injured, and then had the resurgence wearing number 5 for the Celtics.
I challenge anybody out there to name anybody besides Bill Walton from that team. I mean, I can name them, and I'm sure you guys can too, like Maurice Lucas and Lionel Hollins and Bobby Gross, but Dave Twardzik. But there were a bunch of nobodies on that team.
Yeah, that's true. He definitely carried.
I mean, Maurice Lucas is
carried that beard too.
Yeah.
Michael Thompson on that team? After
That was a little later.
Okay, all right.
A little later, yeah.
Okay.
Lionel Hollins is on this.
Yes, he was. And Lionel Hollins is a good little player, and he never got the
He didn't
credit.
show up anywhere.
Good coach too.
Okay, number 9, one of my favorites too, Willis Reed.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Number 8, again, before pretty much all of our time, George Mikan. He was the first big man, right?
And they won a bunch of championships.
Minneapolis Lakers.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. 7, David Robinson. Remember, he scored like 71 points, 72 points.
And his son is like, he's just a player for Notre Dame.
Is that right?
As a wide receiver, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he caught what would have been the winning touchdown last weekend, but the call was but there was a flag.
Oh, that's right.
For holding, and Notre Dame lost the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6, a different Malone. Moses
Malone.
Bo.
Yeah, there you go. Number 5. Now I was kind of surprised that he didn't get up there a little more. Shaq.
Okay.
Number 4, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
Okay. Now this one hurts me.
Okay.
Number 3 was Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
All the way down to number 3. Number 2 was
20,000 women, Edward. 20,000.
I thought it was 10,000.
No, 20.
20.
But that would have to be a woman every day for about 50 years. I don't think that happened.
I know. Well,
The origin of that story. Somebody used to ask them once. He goes, I don't know, just throw out a number 20,000. Sounds impressive.
Well,
but you get a 5 at one time. Then what he does,
I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That counts as 5.
Yeah.
I know.
He lived in the 70s. Hey, maybe free love.
Maybe that's why he didn't make it to age 70 because he was just too worn out.
Well, as I told my wife, and then you guys have heard this before, that get a guy like that, 10,000 women, and my wife is worried about me with another woman. I said I don't want to disappoint another woman, so don't worry about that. Number 2, Kareem, and who's number 1?
Who?
Bill Russell.
How about Nate Thurman isn't in that list?
Wow.
How can Nate Thurman not be in that list?
Well, and I believe didn't Bill Russell say Nate Thurman is the one guy that played me tougher?
Oh, he said that.
Yeah.
I put Nate Thurman on the list. I don't know where I put him on the list, but
I'm guessing it's because all
I
the
think he was just
championships.
saying that to troll Will Chamberlain.
Oh, okay. Trying to stick it to Wilt.
Yeah, but Nate should be on that list. That's my one pet peeve.
See, okay, I
Yeah,
put him ahead of Bill Walton.
Thurman did get votes, and he does show up in our top 10 rebounders of all time list.
He was a great rebounder, though. He was a great defender. That was his strength.
Hey, Bill, you ever have to deal with Bill Russell?
I did not. I've never had to deal with him.
Okay.
Have you dealt with him, Vernon?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, when he comes back to the Bay Area, first he went to McLean.
Now he's, I think,
But,
mellowed out. When he was a coach, he was tough to deal because I dealt with him when I was a young reporter as a coach, and he'd give you this. You'd ask him a question, be really careful because he'd look at you, kind of cockeyed, and say, "No," or he'd say, "Yes," and he would, and then he kind of embarrass you.
Yeah, you got to wait and hit on the right thing to make his eyes,
that was like
kind of perk up.
Well, Sean Payton, for the Saints, listening to the interview, and he just kind of stops. I'm trying to answer your question. If you be quiet, I'll answer your question. And it's like
I like that when a guy does that though, because a lot of us in the media
No,
sometimes.
but Bill was aloof. He was just kind of.
Well, he wouldn't sign autographs. Matter of fact,
Still bitter to this day about USF.
yeah,
Still bitter.
yeah.
tell everyone why you're bitter about it.
Because when he played for USF, he did not feel the head coach at the time, name slipping me.
Phil Wolpert.
Yeah, did not back him for West Coast Player of the Year. It went to
Really?
another guy.
That's surprising.
He just felt like he was just so underappreciated for what he did for that program, and he was it just bothered him.
I didn't realize it was that much of a schism between him and Phil Wolpert.
Well, it was bad. I mean, it got to the point where he just would not do.
That's what the
anything
coach, not the whole
USF.
school. That's not fair to do it to the school,
And
but I understand.
He never signed an autograph either. He hated signing autographs. Matter of fact,
So
there's
to
a
get
story.
it's worth a
There's
lot.
a story about an old woman who came up to him. She was crying. It's for my son who's dying, and he wouldn't do it. And she finally just wouldn't leave him alone. She was holding onto his arm, and he finally signed it.
USF basketball team was at the airport. They were on their way, I believe, to the NCAA tournament, and Russell just happened to be there. And they're like, "Hey, Bill, you say a little something to the USF team?" And he just, "Good luck to you," and walked off.
Okay, guys, we're going to quickly go to our second commercial break
Right.
here. Here's the trivia question. Again, the theme is, whose record did he break? Ichiro Suzuki of the Seattle Mariners broke an 84-year-old record by poking out 262 hits in 2004. Whose record did he break of 257 that was set in 1920? All right? Stay with us. Sports Econ 101. We'll continue.
Slappy White.
I'm going to say Rogers Hornsby.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah,
guess.
I had
Good one.
to have one easy question.
Or maybe, no, I was going to say Ty Cobb, but Ty Cobb was a little bit, well, he was still playing, but I don't think he was that good. You got a guess on that one, Bill?
I was just my attention drifted there for a second. I don't know the guess.
Oh,
Well, once Bill heard baseball, then that was it.
I'm gonna say Rogers Hornsby.
Think so?
It's got to be Rogers Hornsby. He was a great hitter. He had 424, still the all-time.
In 1924.
In 1924, that's right.
I've been watching these documentaries lately. Just nothing to do with sports. It's this 7-part series on the Roosevelt family.
Oh, that's a
Oh
good
my
one. Yeah.
God,
It's
it's
really
fascinating.
Yeah, Ken
Oh
Burns.
my God.
Yeah, and Ken Burns really does a great job
Yeah.
with those specials that he had. The one on jazz, the one on baseball,
Yeah.
the one on the Civil War.
Yeah.
They're all good.
They're
Yeah.
very good.
Very special. Big baseball guy.
Okay.
Clear the
So
throat.
you have to go to Cleveland this weekend.
Cleveland. I've never been to Cleveland.
Well, you'll like
Never
Cleveland.
been.
You ever been
I know
to
one
Cleveland?
person in Cleveland.
Bill, you ever been to Cleveland?
I've been to Cleveland a couple times, yeah.
It's
I'm
not,
doing Brown stuff.
it's not a bad
At
town.
least the weather will be good.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
You like the new stadium?
Here we go. Again, Sports Econ 101 is still here. Edward Brown, Vern Glenn, Bruce McGowan.
We're still alive.
We're still alive.
Contrary to popular opinion.
Yeah, my demise was greatly over-exaggerated or something like that. Okay. Second trivia question. Whose record did he break is the theme. Ichiro Suzuki of the Seattle Mariners broke an 84-year-old record by poking out 262 hits in
I like that.
2004.
Poking out.
Poking out.
Yeah.
Again, whose record did he break of 257 that was set in 1920? And Bruce said
I'd say Rogers Hornsby.
that would be an excellent guess. It would be wrong, but it would be an excellent guess.
Who was it?
George Sisler.
Oh, George Sisler. Yeah, another Hall of Famer, but not as big a name.
Not as big a name.
It's interesting you mentioned poked out because that's sort of typical of the way he hit. You know, he didn't really swing it a lot of times. He
Just
just
slap at it.
slap at it.
Ty
Yeah.
Cobb did that
Yeah.
too, right? In fact,
Yeah.
didn't Napa Joy have a higher average than
Ty Cobb one year, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they
changed the hit.
well they took him out of the lineup and he was ahead and they said, hey, if we keep you out of the lineup, you'll keep your average up. and then the other pitchers just walked Cobb every time. So he couldn't
that's
pitch there.
right. That's right. And then George Brett. I like George Brett, but he wanted to get the record. He didn't
The
have
400.
Yeah, he didn't hit 400.
No.
But he was the top hitter.
What did he hit, about 387?
Something like that. Yeah.
Speaking of George Brett, here's a did you know? Did you know that the famous pine tar incident where Billy Murray called him out and he went bonkers? You know who was sitting next to George Brett when he went bonkers?
Who?
Vida Blue.
Vida!
He was playing on Kansas
Vida
City.
Blue,
That's right,
he had a year in Kansas City,
Yeah.
that happened, he happened to be sitting right there.
Wow.
I'm kind of curious about that because, I guess what did he break the rules by having too much pine tar?
Well, that's what they claim, but later they replayed it, I guess, and Kansas City won that game, I think, wasn't it?
No. They basically gave back the home run.
Right.
They
They
took the home run away.
Yeah.
And
took it away
they
gave it back.
replayed they gave the.
They gave him the home run. Yeah. They
I
changed the ruling.
thought they replayed the ninth inning later at a different time.
No, I think I thought
I have
they
to
just
check
gave him
that
back
one.
home because I was wondering, it was like, what do they change their
Yeah, I don't
mind
know.
on that? Okay.
Yeah.
So we still have on the phone here Bill Syken, who wrote a very interesting book, Sports Illustrated. Are all these pictures from Sports Illustrated?
A lot of them are, not all of them, but the great majority of them are. You have some cover shots in there, but there are some outside sources that are used.
Okay. Here he's got another category called Best Coaches.
Oh.
Okay, Lenny Wilkins. Yeah, number 10, Lenny Wilkins.
Okay.
Number 9, Jerry Sloan. Of course, Sloan never won anything, did he?
Yeah, he
We
won
got close.
a lot of playoffs. Yeah.
Okay, John Kundla,
Yeah.
the Lakers. Okay.
Good
Uh,
assistant.
Brett Holzman. Larry Brown, again, somebody who never won anything. Greg Popovich.
Won an
number
NCAA
5.
tournament.
That's true.
Yeah,
Larry
that's
Brown
true.
did. Yeah.
He
Okay.
did win a title with the Pistons also.
Yeah, he did win with the Pistons. That's right.
Oh, is that with the Bill Lambert and all those guys?
Well, actually, it was Chuck Daly.
No,
but I
Chuck
think-
Daly, yeah.
Yeah, but he did win.
Yeah, no, it was the Chauncey Billups, Richard
Yeah.
Hamilton.
The
Oh,
one
yeah,
like
yeah,
in
yeah. The recent one, yeah,
04
Okay,
or 05
fair
or
enough.
whatever it was.
Greg Popovich was number 5. Number 4, Chuck Daly. Number 3, Pat Riley. Number 2, Red Auerbach. And, of course, number 1, Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Wow.
How could you
What
not?
would Red would have to say about that?
Red would like it.
Yeah.
Red wasn't as good a coach as Phil Jackson.
No.
Who could light up a cigar quicker?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
Red.
Yeah, that was a close one. The Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson vote. That one, there was definitely a split of opinion there.
Bill, you got any good Red Auerbach stories? Because he was known as just an amazing penny pincher. I mean, in those days they didn't pay the players a lot, but I understand that he would lowball everybody, including, I guess, Russell was the only one who didn't.
Yeah, because he was entrusted with building the team.
Yeah. Any
Well,
good
he's coaching.
Any interesting
My
story?
favorite Red Auerbach story is just, that he coached a summer team. He would show up at new clinics at this resort in the Catskills. One of the people working there as a bellhop, and he would also play in the games, was a teenage Will Chamberlain. Tried to convince Will Chamberlain to go to Harvard because back then they had territorial rights for college players, so he wanted Chamberlain at Harvard, so Auerbach would hold his territorial rights.
Oh.
It's just an interesting what if to think if somehow Chamberlain and Russell ended up on the same team.
The only problem with that is I wonder if Chamberlain could have passed the academic standards, because Harvard, I mean, that's pretty tough to get into.
Well, maybe it's I think it's one of those schools where it's really hard to get in, but once you're in there,
You're
you do
in.
the work,
Yeah.
then you can stay.
Will was a bright guy, though. Will was the kind of guy, if he studied, he probably could have got
I'll say this about Red Auerbach. He was always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never thinking, I mean, yeah, if he had to coach his current team, he was always thinking, well, what if I got a year ahead, a year or two? Yeah, that's where he found Larry Bird.
Yeah.
He drafted him before he was done in Indiana State.
An interesting story, too. Bill Russell, the last 2 championships they won during that great run, he was the coach, and he was the player coach. How often do you see that?
Pete Rose.
Yeah, that's true.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but I mean, Pete Rose was way past his prime. Bill Russell was still pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Moving on here, there's a category called Best Sixth Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 10.
Cornbread Maxwell on there?
Havlicek's got to be on there, right?
Oh, hold on. Let's see. Okay.
There's a couple of Celtics and no
Yeah.
cornbread.
Oh, okay.
No cornbread.
Frank Ramsey, number 10.
Okay.
Ricky Pierce, number 9. Number 8, Tony Kukoc. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Great player.
Bobby Jones, number 7.
Uh-huh.
Detlef Schwimp.
Detlef Schrempf.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Michael Cooper.
Coop?
Coop,
Yeah.
remember him?
Coop.
Kevin McHale.
Great player.
I played an All-Star game with Michael Cooper.
Did you
once.
really?
Yeah, he was on my team.
Celebrity
He
All-Star.
was on my team, and
Kept
so
hitting
was.
3-pointers, right?
Yeah, it was when All-Star Weekend was here in the Bay Area.
Wow.
He seems like a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Women's, I think he
I just passed it a lot.
Oh, shoot, man.
I
Get on his shoulders and pound.
I think Michael Cooper coaches in the WNBA.
Does he really?
I believe he does.
Yeah.
No, he did for a long time. I'm not sure if he still does, but yeah, the LA Sparks.
Yeah,
LA Sparks.
with Lisa Leslie.
Got to be an LA team. Number 3, Vinnie Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, John Havlicek.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, got Manu Ginobili.
Manu
Ginobili,
Ginobili,
yeah.
God,
Of course, he's kind of not a sixth man anymore, is he?
Well,
We're playing.
Yeah, actually, kind of is, more or less, because he's.
Yeah, I think he's actually gone back to sixth man with Kawhi Leonard in the lineup. I mean, a lot of these players who are on the sixth man list, a lot of them eventually graduated to starting lineup.
Yeah,
Kevin
good point.
McHale, Havlicek.
Yeah.
They're still not those to the list.
Okay, so moving on here, this is a fun one too. Is best 3-point shooter.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Number 10.
Who can make the man shot?
That's it. Big shot, Bob Horry.
Okay.
Number 9.
Robert Horry.
Yeah, Robert Horry. Peja
Stojakovic.
I know it's funny. I know it by name, but when I look at it on
I
here,
know.
These are the
give me
times when I'm
Jay's
glad
case.
Edward is hosting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Stojakovic. You got to say it without us.
Stojakovic.
Okay. It's funny. There's so many J's, K's, and V's in there.
Yeah.
Have another shot of Schnapp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8, our local boy, Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Number 7, Glenn
The
Rice.
youngest player in the book by a good distance.
I bet.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I'll tell you, after this last year, boy, he was just smoking.
He was.
Number 7, Glenn Rice. 6, Dale.
Rifleman.
6, Dale Ellis.
Wait, Glenn Rice. Wait, he had Governor Palin. Isn't that the famous? Wasn't it Glenn Rice?
That was Glenn Rice. That was back when he was in college and he was up at the
The Great Alaska Shootout, was it not?
You mean they went out on a date?
Well, she was she started off. She was a sports reporter for an Alaska TV station.
That's right.
Oh,
And she was working the Great Alaska Shootout.
Yeah.
And they met. I guess eyes met and boom,
Boom.
Boom.
yeah,
Boom.
Wonderful was more than just a little boom.
Okay, so number 6, Dale Ellis.
Mhm.
Number 5, Steve Nash.
Mhm.
Number 4, good old Steve Kerr, who is now with the Warriors coaching. 3, Larry Bird, of course. Number 2, one of my favorites also, Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller.
Remember what he did
Right.
just for what he did alone to New York.
Yeah.
It was enough, but of course he didn't.
There's a great documentary on that too. Yeah.
And this guy is coming into the end of his career. Who would that be? Number 1.
You got me.
Allen.
Yes, Ray Allen.
Ray Allen. Yeah.
Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Very good. In fact, didn't they move the 3-point shot back?
Because of him?
Well, I don't know if because of him, but they definitely had. I think they did move it back in the last.
In the old days, the 3-point a lot of people don't realize this, and Bill maybe can tell us a little story about this. Bill, the 3-point basket was originally an advent of the old American Basketball Association. It was one of the reasons they were trying to pump up that sport. They had the red, white, blue basketball, but that wasn't the original 3-point arc a little further back than the old than the one that exists today. I think it was.
I'm not sure about the distance. They were right about it coming from the ABA as being an idea that started there along with the slam dunk contest. But
yeah, because there was a night when they wouldn't even let them dunk. Remember? They have to.
Yeah, I just remember there were only a handful of guys in the ABA that were really good 3-point shooters, and man, if you had one on your team, you would. And you're right. I mean, the old ABA was fun. I used to love going to those games. I went to when I was going to school in Denver. I used to see the Rock. They were called the Rockets in those days, and they had Spencer Haywood, believe it or not. So good times.
Okay. Category here called Best Rebounders.
I just remember Artis Gilmore.
Yeah.
That big afro.
Yeah.
Kentucky. That's a
Kentucky
tragedy.
Colonels. Yeah.
That's a team that should have been allowed to join the
Absorbed
NBA,
by the NBA.
and they got rid of it. And they had great fan support.
Yeah.
It's a shame. They were one of the flagship franchises of that league. They should have been allowed.
The Kansas City team too. Right?
Well, Kansas City's from Cincinnati, and then now
Kansas City. Oh yeah, Kansas City.
They were from Cincinnati.
Okay, so we got here Best Rebounders. Number 10, Kareem. Number 9, Bob Pettit. 8 is your Warrior.
Nate Thurman. Yeah.
7, Charles Barkley.
Did you say Kareem was number 10?
10, yeah, for
Kareem's
rebound.
10.
I know. I didn't realize I thought he had
You know,
more.
his career rebounding average, I mean, Kareem was not perceived as a great rebounder, but I think it was more that he was a disappointing rebounder considering his height. But he did average 11.2 rebounds over a game over his career, which went on for a very long time. So, just some nice numbers up there.
Yeah. Bob Lanier on there? Bob Lanier
I
on
don't think so.
No,
No, he just has big
Not
shoes.
in the book.
Not in the book. Not in the book at all. Wow.
Size
Okay.
what, 23
Well,
feet?
not in the top 10.
Biggest feats in
Biggest
basketball.
feats, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the best
Sorry,
quotes
yeah.
one of the best quotes I ever got from Bob Lanier was I talked to him after a game and they lost this heartbreaking game in the playoffs to the Seattle Sonics up in Seattle, and I was working in Seattle at the time. And I said, "What'd you think, Bob? That was a tough loss." He goes, "I think tomorrow we're going to kick them in the ass."
Did they?
No, they did not. Although the series did go to 7 games.
An incorrect quote. Then.
Yeah.
Number 6, Wes Unseld.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Wesley?
Wes. Yeah. 5, Jerry Lucas. 4, Moses Malone. 3, Bill Russell. 2, the crazy guy, Dennis Rodman. And number 1, Will Chamberlain. Let's see, he was a good rebounder.
Now I got to ask Bill, why did they call Dennis Rodman the Worm? Is it because he was able to get inside, or what was the reason? Because he always seemed to have pretty good position.
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Now that you've never thought about it, but how did you bring it up?
I thought he could contort his body to be in position to get the rebound.
Maybe it
Yeah.
was
Because
that,
he
or
wasn't huge. I mean,
No.
I
he was
just
tall,
hope
but
it's basketball related.
yeah. No, I was going to say maybe it's because he wormed his way inside. Because he wasn't a
That's
big
true.
guy, but he always would get the rebounds. He was amazing.
Little known fact, Wes Unseld, the first guy I ever interviewed
Really?
while standing in a chair.
You were standing on a chair?
Standing on a chair.
Did he insist on that?
Well, no, but geez, I mean,
He's 6'10".
how could I get the same frame?
Yeah. Well,
You know, for the camera. And so,
You just keep-
so I stood on a chair, still
That's
was not
funny.
as tall as he was.
well, that reminds me of the Alan
And
Ladd.
we're talking, and we're having a dialogue, and he looks down and he goes, "Why are you standing in a chair?"
Well, so if you bend down here,
That's like the Alan Ladd story, the great Hollywood actor who was short, and the story was that they'd get these leading ladies who were fairly tall, they'd have to put them in they'd have to dig a little ditch to put the one in, so that her, she came down to
how
his
do they
level.
keep digging? Okay,
Yeah.
how do they keep walking? Okay,
Yeah.
third final commercial break trivia question. Again, the theme is, whose record did he break? The legendary manager Connie Mack retired in 1950 after coaching for 53 seasons, appearing in 7,755 games. Whose managerial record did he break for most career games?
Ah.
All right. Stay with us. We're going to have some closing comments on Sports Econ 101.
I bet you it's John McGraw. It's got to be. John
Like I said,
McGraw.
I got to have one easy question, right?
It's got to be John McGraw.
That would have been my guess.
Yeah, there you go. We'll let you answer that one then. Pick John McGraw.
Definitely. You take it.
Okay.
Because if he's wrong, it's not going to look good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, Bill, you ever see a buddy of mine, Ron Burke, on Comcast Sportsnet in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I mean, I see him on the TV. I don't know him personally, but I do see him, yeah.
He's kind of a contemporary of mine. We kind of came up at about the same time in the Richmond, Virginia market. And then he went on to Philadelphia, and then I moved on to Baltimore, and then he stayed in Philadelphia, and then I got out here on the left coast wherever he goes.
It's kind of fun. Mark Ibanez and Joe Fonzie both started their careers the same year I did, but they were in television. I was in radio, and then I got into TV, and we all kind of knew each other. We were just kids. Joe was in Salinas, and Mark was a weekend guy in Sacramento, and I was in Eureka. And I tried to get the job that Mark ended up getting, but he still has now. What is it, 36 years, 35 years later?
Mhm.
He's still at KTV.
Still there,
I wanted that job.
ageless.
But I ended up going to Portland, Oregon, right after the Blazers won the championship. I got there the year after. It's funny. I got to Portland the year after they won the championship. I got to Seattle the year after they won the championship.
Well, that's actually pretty good because people would still be excited.
Oh
right?
yeah, they were both very good teams still. Yeah.
All right, guys, let's
All right.
finish this off. You know, and I'm going to go through.
How about Beasley Reese? You know him, Bill?
Yeah, it's another name I know. I don't know for.
Beasley Reese. That
He's
When I worked with SI, I was up in on the magazine. I was up in New York. I've only been out here the last few years.
Yeah, he's a CBS affiliate in Philadelphia.
Was he a football player, basketball player?
Yeah, he was a running back for
right.
Cincinnati Bengals.
That's right. Pretty good one, too, for a few years.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
A fellow Eagle Scout.
So he's on TV?
Yeah.
Okay, he's been doing that for a while. There's a guy from San Francisco, the 49ers had a running back for a long time who was in Sacramento doing TV, African-American guy. Running back.
Oh, still doing it. I just saw him.
Spencer or something?
No.
I can't remember his name. He's a good little ball player. He played for about 4 years.
He's got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't remember his name.
yeah, we called him Popcorn.
Yeah.
All right, you'll think of it.
I'll think of
okay,
it.
we only have a couple of minutes, so
Yeah.
hey, Bill, we're going to give you a chance to tell people how to get the book, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Sports Econ 101 is finishing off today's show. Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn and Bruce McGowan. Third final commercial break trivia question. The legendary manager Connie Mack retired in 1950 after coaching for 53 seasons, appearing in 7,755 games. Whose managerial record did he break for the most career games?
It's got to be John McGraw.
It's got to be John McGraw. Very good.
Yeah.
The Giants.
The Giants.
The Giants. Okay, so Bill, tell us if people want to get this book, because you have all these great things. We didn't get a chance to talk about the clutch performers like Michael Jordan and Big Shot Bob and Isaiah Thomas, etc. How do people get a hold of the book?
Well, again, you go to Amazon.com. Title is Basketball Greatest, Sports Illustrated, and that's the way you do it. Very simple.
Or if you go to a bookstore, can you just walk in a bookstore and ask for it? Yeah.
I believe you can walk into a bookstore if you can find one, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
if you find a bookstore rather than find a book.
Believe it or not, I was actually in a bookstore about 20 minutes before I came into the studios here today.
Really?
Yeah. I love to read American history, and I was looking around, and so I have to look for your book when I go in the next time I'm in the local bookstore here, Bill.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill Syken, thank you very much for joining us on Sports Econ 101. We're going to cut our thoughts for the day here. Babe Ruth wore a cabbage leaf under his cap to keep him cool. He changed it every 2 innings. I hope nobody ate that cabbage leaf afterward. And bank robber John Dillinger played professional baseball. My guess is that he was a pretty good base stealer.
Is this thing on?
Couldn't dodge bullets, though.
Yeah.
That's true. He couldn't dodge bullets. Very
Not
good.
outside of the movie theater.
The Lady in Red.
That's right.
What was the name of that movie theater, too? It was like had a weird
Oh,
name.
yeah, that's right. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective. We're also going to be giving away trivia vacations for answering sports trivia questions. All right, thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
Good night, America.
So long.